The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum, Deuteronomy chapter 8. Every commandment which I command you this day, observe ye to do, that you may live and multiply, and go in and inherit the land which the Lord swore to your fathers. And remember all the way by which the Lord your God hath led you these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble and try you, to know whether you will keep his commandments or not. And he humbled thee, and let thee hunger, and fed thee with the manna which thou knowest not, nor thy fathers had known, that he might make thee to know that man liveth not by bread only, but by all that is created by the word of the Lord doth man live. Your remnant hath not waxed old upon your bodies, and your feet have not gone without covering these 40 years. But ye know with the thoughts of your hearts, that as a man regardeth his child, so the Lord your God hath regarded you. Keep therefore the commandments of the Lord your God, to walk in the ways that are right before him, and to fear him. For the Lord your God bringeth you into a land whose fruits are celebrated, a land whose streams flow in clear waters, from sweet fountain springs, and depths that dry not up, issuing forth among the vales and mountains, a land producing wheat and barley, and growing vines, from which cometh out wine sweet and ripe, and a land which yieldeth figs and pomegranates, a land whose olive trees make oil, and whose palms give honey, a land where, without poverty, you may eat bread and want nothing, a land whose sages will enact decrees, unalloyed as iron, and whose disciples will propound questions weightier as brass. Jerusalem text says, a land from whose olive trees they make oil, and from whose palms they make honey, whose stones are pure as iron, and whose hills are firm as brass. Be mindful, therefore, in the time when you will have eaten and are satisfied, that you render thanksgiving and blessing before the Lord your God for all the fruit of the goodly land which he has given you. Lest you forget the fear of the Lord your God, and keep not his commandments, his judgments, and his statutes, which I command you this day. Lest when you shall have eaten and are satisfied, and you have builded pleasant houses to dwell in, and your oxen and sheep are multiplied, and silver and gold are increased to you, and all things you have are multiplied, and your heart be lifted up, and you forget the fear of the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Mizraim, from the house of the affliction of slaves, who led thee in mercy through the great and fearful desert, a place abounding in burning serpents and scorpions with stings, a place there is thirst but no water, but where he brought thee forth water out of the hard rock, and fed thee in the desert with manna, which thy fathers knew not, to humble thee and to prove thee, that he may do thee good in thine end. So beware that you say not in your heart, our strength and the might of our hands have obtained us all these riches. But remember the Lord your God, for he it is who giveth thee counsel whereby to get wealth, that he may confirm the covenant which he swore to your fathers at the time of this day. For it shall be that if you forget the fear of the Lord your God, and you go after the idols of the Gentiles, to serve and to worship them, I testify against you this day that you will surely perish, as the peoples which the Lord your God dispersed before you, so you will perish, because you were not obedient to the word of the Lord your God. End of the reading. Just an interesting point where it says that he may confirm the covenant which he swore to your fathers at this time of the day. Interesting. Holy be his name.